the last 2 years, home prices in Maine have certainly exploded. Even though the market has cooled a bit in 2022, it's still up between 7 and 12% depending on location.
Those prices for existing homes drove a lot of people to find an empty lot and try to build a home from scratch. In Maine, that can be tricky. You see, contractors here are not licensed or regulated by the state.
So how do you know the one you hire is in good standing? News Center Maine's Chloe Thibault joins us with a warning. Hi, Chloe.
Hi, Amanda and Brian. So in Maine, like you guys mentioned, anyone can be a general contractor, which means you have to do your homework before you hire a home builder. I spoke with two families in Brunswick who say they're learning that lesson the hard way. They say they're out tens of thousands of dollars and are also running out of hope.
We originally went under contract March 24th of 2021.
For couple Dana Peterson and Jaron Conti, life lately has looked a lot like this. Trying to make sense of how building their dream home turned into a nightmare.
It's just one of those things of like, gosh, like, are we that naive?
About a year and a half ago, the couple decided to sell their home in South Portland and move 30 miles north to Brunswick, hoping to build their own house. They hired real estate developer Renewabuilt to oversee construction. They say they liked the modern aesthetic Renewabuilt owners Todd and Lisa Erickson promoted.
Her and Jaron were just back and forth, ideas sharing, pictures from magazines, like very mid-century modern look is what we were going for.
On March 24th, 2021, they signed this contract with Renewabuilt for a total price of $500,000 for the house and the land. They also signed an addendum to the agreement that stated their earnest deposits would be non-refundable. In May, they gave a first deposit of $20,000. And a month later, in June of 2021, they paid Renewabuilt's LLC another $80,000 after closing on their South Portland home, as stipulated in that contract. By this point, Dana and Jaron had paid Renewabuilt $100,000 total.
Once we wrote the check, that's when the communication started to go. It would be, 2 emails to them to one response, and it was just very much of the fact of like, we can't predict this thing, there's supply chain issues, there's labor issues.
Dana and Jaron say the sudden, inconsistent communication continued for months. In October of 2021, 7 months after they signed that contract with Renewabuilt, a final email from Renewabuilt owner Todd Erickson.
After pushing this build forward as hard as humanly possible, it has become glaringly apparent that we will be unable to deliver this home anywhere near the timetable in the purchase and sale agreement.
That email ends saying, addressing this honestly will allow all parties to refocus energies and resources accordingly. Dana says at that point, he and Jaron offered to take the lot as is, but they say Todd proposed a new price tag.
And the counteroffer was for us to buy the land for an additional $150,000. So it would have been $250,000 for the land, a tiny portion cleared, and a laid foundation, which was just a slab. Like, it wasn't even a dug foundation, it was a slab.
In December, Dana and Jaron went to mediation with Todd Erickson.
Through our process, we haven't found a lot of consumer protection, and I think that that's what, we question ourselves, are we crazy?
I would say frustrating would be an understatement.
Another couple wanting to build in Brunswick, Keith Trafton and Kate White, also signed a contract with Renewabuilt in May of 2022. They say they had a plan in place with Todd Erickson to help lower the cost of their build.
I own a plumbing and HVAC company in the area, and I was able to get a hold of him and say I'd like to do my own trades as much as possible.
Kate and Keith say they asked the Ericksons if they could add an additional small granny house for Kate's parents. When the Ericksons agreed, Kate's parents sold their home in Bethel. But by the end of September,
his realtor, Jacqueline, calls my realtor and says, call Keith, tell him that our finances fell through, we can't complete the build.
That call came after Kate and Keith had already paid Renewabuilt $70,000 and invested hours of personal labor into their build.
All this green board is my unpaid services. All that PEX is my unpaid services. The plumbing pipes are my unpaid services.
News Center Maine reached out to Todd and Lisa Erickson to ask about complaints against them. Todd did not agree to an interview on camera, but provided a statement through his attorney. That statement mentioned Todd was fighting an aggressive cancer diagnosis in 2021. It listed winter conditions, delays in materials, and costs of critical building materials and subcontractor labor as reasons why Dana and Jaron's build was not completed in time. It also said Renewabuilt became the scapegoat target of unwarranted online and direct attacks by the couple, which froze Renewabuilt's abilities to operate and ensnared its its existing clients, resulting in a wave of directly related damages. As of the airing of this story, neither Dana and Jaron nor Kate and Keith say they have received any of their money back. News Center Maine also spoke with one of the lenders for RenewalBuilt, Titan Funding. In a statement, CEO John Mansour said, "We've been working with RenewalBuilt's equity investors, homeowners who provided payments to RenewalBuilt, and contractors and vendors to negotiate a solution which works for all interested parties."
Come on.
Dana and Jaron have moved into a condo and are also trying to move on with life. After taking RenewalBuilt to mediation, they got a court order signed by Todd Erickson, saying he would pay back their $100,000 plus another $10,000 secured by a mortgage on the property. That payment was due in full on July 31st, 2022. Dana and Jaron say that payment never happened, so they have a lien on that property in Brunswick, hoping to get some money back and hoping they're smarter next time.
I think it has left us definitely jaded with the process and you know, a little bit more educated, I guess, which is, you know, good. Life lessons, I think, you know, sometimes they're the hard ones to learn, but you take them with you, so.
The Maine Attorney General's office tells us it has received 4 complaints total about RenewalBuilt, but those parties either stopped responding to the office, declined to mediate, or got lawyers to pursue private legal remedies. We spoke with the Home Builders and Remodelers Association of Maine, and here are some tips to help you avoid the pitfalls of building your own home in our state. Number 1, ask for references. Former customers can tell you what to expect in terms of what their experience was like and how their product has held up. Research the builder and read reviews. Number 3, beware of cost. If something is the lowest cost option, there's likely a reason why. So if your potential builder is very below market rate, you should be asking how long they've been in business, whether they have references, what their warranty policy is, and if they're actively pursuing ways to follow best industry practices. Trust your gut. Don't compromise on such an expensive investment if you're feeling like your potential builder may not be trustworthy. Show a lawyer your contract before signing, and have a detailed scope of work that is well defined in that contract. If it's not, it will be easier for your potential builder to make excuses. Brian and Amanda, back to you.
All right, Chloe Thibault, thank you.